All right, my little readers, bear with me on this one because we're going to say some names of dinosaurs. This is my first book of dinosaurs. It's a Parragon Publishing book. It's edited in 2004, illustrated by Tony Gibbons, edited by Carolyn Repchik, and designed by Kilnwood Graphics. And this is a Parragon Publishing book. My first book of dinosaurs. And here we go. Dinosaurs. The first dinosaurs appeared about 225 million years ago and ruled the earth for millions of years. No one has ever seen a dinosaur alive because they died out long before people appeared. But we know what they look like because scientists study their fossilized bones to discover the many weird and wonderful shapes and sizes they came in. Brachiosaurus. Herds of these large animals traveled across the hot plains in search of food. Brachiosaurus walked on all fours, but could rear up on its hind legs to munch leaves high on trees, using its massive tail for support. Brachiosaurus. Herrerasaurus. Herrerasaurus was one of the first meat-eating dinosaurs and was a fierce hunter with sharp teeth and claws. It ran at great speed on its powerful back legs, which helped it catch its prey. Herrerasaurus. Tyrannosaurus. The terrifying Tyrannosaurus towered as tall as a small house, the largest, fiercest meat-eater. It had huge jaws filled with long, sharp teeth, and its mouth was big enough to gulp you down whole. It ran upright on its powerful back legs, but its front legs were so short they couldn't reach its mouth. It carried its long tail upright as it moved to balance the weight of its enormous body. Tyrannosaurus. Mesozoic. These little dinosaurs lived in the desert in herds, grazing on desert plants. They had nothing to defend themselves from predators with, but instead ran for cover at high speed on their long back legs. They would have been very difficult to catch. They may have rested in burrows during the hot summer until the rains came again and there was food to eat. Mesozoic. That one was difficult for me to learn. Diplodocus. Diplodocus was the longest dinosaur that ever lived. It used its incredible neck to reach leaves high in the treetops. It had an even longer tail, which it may have used like a whip to scare away predators. It stayed in water for most of the time, out of reach of its fierce enemies. Diplodocus. That one was another difficult one for me to learn. This one's tricky because the P is silent. Pteranodon. A pteranodon's body was no bigger than a turkey's, but its great wings would have spread across the highway. It flew by gliding rather than flapping its wings and soared over the sea, snatching fish in its toothless jaws. Pteranodon. Archaeopteryx. All right, let's try that again. Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx was the first winged bird, but in many ways it was similar to the reptiles. It had teeth, a long bony tail, proper clawed fingers on the front of its wings, and colored feathers. Let's say its name again. Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx. That one was probably the most difficult for me to learn. Archaeopteryx. Stegosaurus. Stegosaurus was as long as a bus, but it only had a brain the size of a plum. It had bony armor and 2 pairs of dangerous spikes at the end of its tail. It moved slowly on its 4 sturdy legs and swallowed plants without even chewing. Stegosaurus. Allosaurus. Herds of Allosaurus are thought to have hunted together, feeding on other dinosaurs. They had powerful necks, sharp claws, and strong, wide-open jaws. The Allosaurus's razor-sharp teeth made them deadly attackers. Allosaurus. Minmi. The Minmi was one of the best protected dinosaurs and easiest to pronounce. It had bony armor covering almost all of its body, even its belly. Any dinosaur that tried to bite a chunk out of Minmi risked breaking some teeth. Minmi. Mesozoic. Mesozoic means good mother lizard. About 20 eggs were laid in a large mud nest, then covered to keep them warm and protected. Dinosaur babies were very small and probably needed looking after for some time. Mesozoic. Triceratops. These great dinosaurs were among the last to appear on Earth and the last to die out. They thundered through the forest in large herds made up of dozens of dinosaurs. Triceratops. Saurolophus. This dinosaur had a bony spike at the back of its head, on the back of its head, called a crest. It may have used this to make its noises louder, so it could warn others of dangers. It could run away on 2 legs and may have rushed into the water to escape predators. Saurolophus. Apatosaurus. Huge herds of plant-eating Apatosaurus trundled along at about the speed of elephants searching for food. The youngest dinosaurs walked in the middle of the herd, protected from predators by the large adults. Apatosaurus. Edmontonia. Although Edmontonia was a slow, sturdy plant eater who lumbered along on all 4s, it wasn't an easy meal. Edmontonia was well protected with bony armor, which it used for attack as well as defense. It had long spines on its shoulders, which it used to stab the legs of attackers. Where did they go? There are many suggestions of why the dinosaurs disappeared, but no real answers. Many scientists think a chunk of space rock smashed into Earth and threw up huge clouds of dust, blocking out the sun. Without heat and light, the plant eaters, and then meat eaters would have all vanished. However, the dinosaurs' descendants live on today as little feathered friends, the birds. The end. Thank you all again for following along with us here at Little Reader's Haven. We look forward to reading many other books for you in the future.